Alright, Minbound, so this is for you. First of all, happy new can. I hope you guys enjoy that. So anyway, let's get right to it. I decided I was gonna make up some strawberry preserves today. Look at those things, big, fat, red, juicy strawberries. Oh my God, those are gonna be so awesome. So I picked up 2 quarts of strawberries. I'm sorry, 4 quarts of strawberries. 4 quarts will probably yield me about 10 of the 8-ounce jars or 5 of the 1 pint jars. I'm going to can them up in the 1 pint jars today. I have plenty of preserves down there in the 8-ounce jars. So 4 quarts of strawberries. For the 4 quarts of strawberries, you're going to need a total of 2 cups of sugar. Yes, that does sound kind of low compared to some of the recipes you're going to read out there. I think some of those other recipes that call for 5 to 6 cups of sugar for just the 2 quarts of strawberries is a little too much in my opinion. So I use the low sugar pectin, which is in the pink box. So I'll be using 2 boxes of low sugar pectin, and also 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Lemon juice I just kind of eyeball, squeeze in there. You'll see as I go along. But the lemon juice kicks up the acidity of the fruit and also helps to protect it from any kind of bacteria that might have possibly got in there. It'll inhibit its growth and help your preserves stay longer. Alright, so I will be back in just a minute. I'm going to finish cutting up these strawberries, put them in my pan, and smash them all up with the potato masher. Alright, so of course you always want to rinse your fruits off very well. Make sure there's no pesticides or yucky, nasty, crawly things on them that might bite you or make you sick. Let them drain and dry for a few minutes. Get my canner going. You'll want to fill up the water level so it will be about to the top of the jars you put in there. Then as you fill it up with jars, that water level will rise up. As long as you keep that water level 1 to 2 inches above the top of the jars, you should be all set. Alright, and in case I forgot, I know I'm old, I forget things sometimes. I find myself standing in the store and I forget why I went there, or I'm driving down the road and I can't remember where the heck I was going. So in case I forgot, I'm using 4 quarts of strawberries, 2 packages of low sugar pectin. I'll be using 2 cups of sugar and about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Alright, be back in a minute. Alright, so I'm in the process of hand mashing the strawberries. Yeah, it's a little tough hand mashing them, but I like to keep the strawberries a little thick and chunky and on the rustic side. If you have one of those little hand blenders that you can kind of stick in and mash them up, or I don't know if you want to use a Dremel tool or a rock tool, that's up to you, but I prefer to mash them by hand and keep them a little thick and chunky, and yeah. So, alright, I'm going to be another couple minutes mashing these things up. I'll be back. Alright, so the strawberries all smashed up. You just put them on the stove. Put the heat on a medium high, and I'm going to bring them up to a light rolling boil. I already added the 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Again, you just kind of estimate it, a couple of good squeezes in there. Once it comes up to a rolling boil, I'm going to add the 2 boxes of pectin. I'll stir those in good. I'll bring it back up to a rolling boil for about 1 minute, and then we'll go ahead and add our sugar. Alright, so while the strawberries are getting ready to start boiling here, my water's just starting to boil inside the canner. We'll go over and check our lids. I've had the lids soaking in the bowl here. I put some simmering water in here. I put 6 lids in after I washed them off thoroughly. Let them sit in here, let that rubber seal soften up a little bit, so when we go ahead and can them and tighten everything down, they get a nice good seal on them. Alright, so we're coming up to a boil here. I'm going to go ahead and add the 2 packages of pectin. Now this pectin, from what I understand, is made from the cell walls of the fruits and vegetables, so it's basically a natural product. And what it does is it acts somewhat like a gelatin would in a jello. It helps to firm up and stiffen up your jams. Otherwise you'd end up with kind of runny, sloppy strawberry syrup kind of thing instead. You can see just adding this in and starting to mix it, it's thickened up already. But we'll go ahead and bring this up to a rolling boil and let it boil for about a minute, and then we'll add the sugar. Alright, so we're back up to our rolling boil here, and it's time to add a little sugar. 2 cups of sugar, that's all I'm going to put in there. I think anything else is just overkill. Yeah, I prefer the natural flavor of the fruit, maybe with a little bit of kicked up sweetness. 5, 6, 7, 8 cups of sugar, I think it's just way too sweet. And that's it. Stir that in good. Bring this back to a rolling boil. Let it boil for a minute or so, and then we're ready to start putting it in the jars. Look at that stuff, huh? Awesome. And I'll be back. Alright, so we're just about ready to start canning this. We've been at a soft rolling boil for a minute or so. And you can see that thickening right up on the spoon and clinging. And of course, as that's in the jar and cools off, it'll set quite nicely. So that's right about where we want it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat. Go grab my jars and start ladling this into the jars.